Good afternoon. So it is Tuesday, and in retrospect, I should probably be posting this on a Monday so that I can call this video Motivational Monday or whatever, but it's Tuesday, so let's do it. But today I want to talk to you guys about mindset, and I want to talk about a concept that's incredibly important, both in fitness and nutrition and achieving your fitness goals, as well as every other aspect of life. And this concept is going to come up with just about every client I work with, sometimes in the first week, sometimes in the 6th week, sometimes a year after they've been on board. And it, for whatever reason, that's a rare case. This doesn't come up until way later, but it will come up eventually. And it's the concept of failure. And I want to really change everyone's mindset on this because it's essential to have the right mindset about failure when going into anything. Because it's what separates those from who, it's the concept that separates people who fail from people who are successful. Their mindset on this topic is what separates them. And so it's important, it's paramount, it's essential that we lock this down if you're gonna achieve your goals here, and it's gonna be applicable to pretty much everything else in life as well. So let's talk about that. Failure. Let's talk about how we define that term and how we use it going forward here. So let's look at an example for a week. Let's say for a week you are following your meal plans and you are hitting your workouts and everything is going great, and then 7-8 days in, something happens. Something unplanned comes up, a social event, maybe just a rough day, maybe you get fired. I don't know, maybe something traumatic happens, maybe it's just a fun thing that happens, but a day pops up where all of a sudden your prescribed plan isn't followed. You're not following your meal plans, you skip your workout, it could be a celebratory event, it might be at a party, you're eating cake and drinking and having a great time, or maybe you're just, bored at home and you just decide to go get some ice cream, and then it turns into a big binge session and you feel awful and you feel like you failed. And you get all worked up about this, and you think that you feel like you let yourself down, you feel like you let your coach down, your trainer, you don't want to tell anybody about this, and you're like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not strong enough to do this, to get to where I want to be. So that's the piece that is going to be, that's what we need to change here, is perceiving days like that as failures. Successful people see those instances of failure as a necessary stepping stone to success. And that's going to be really important. The people who are successful in life, athletes, business moguls, artists, inventors, anyone who's achieved a physique that they're happy with in that department, they've learned to see those days, those instances of failure, as just part of the process, and not something that makes them a bad person or decreases their worth or makes it, or definitely not an indicator that they're not capable of achieving their goals. They are a necessary part in the process. And what's really important for people who are successful is they're able to hit that point where they fail and brush it off and move on. Jumping right back on the game plan, getting on the phone with your coach and talking about what happened and seeing what you need to do to get back on track. And that's going to happen if it hasn't already, and it's going to happen repeatedly over and over again. And it's going to happen all the way up until you're successful. That's not going to change. So being proactive and knowing that these things are coming and knowing how to mentally deal with them when they do come is paramount. So I want people to see those days where things don't go as you planned as necessary parts of the process of succeeding. And what we do with those days is we learn from them. We ask ourselves, how could I have handled that situation better so that when that situation pops up again, I can handle it in a way where I won't feel bad about it later. And the most important thing is just to brush it off as soon as possible. So the most important thing that I want to drive home is when that stuff happens, when you fail, quote unquote, that is necessary. It is part of the process. It doesn't make you a bad person. And it certainly shouldn't be a signal that you're not capable of achieving what you want to achieve. And it's not a question of whether you can achieve those goals. It's only a matter of time. And it's only a matter of how many of those speed bumps that life throws at you that you're able to go over. The only people in life who fail are the ones who hit those points and stop trying. That's the only thing. I've got some kind of cliche examples to help illustrate this that you've probably heard before, but I mean, it's true. So the old Thomas Edison example is a good one. He tried to invent the light bulb 10,000 times before he actually successfully did it. So you can imagine how many times most people would have attempted that before they would have given up. maybe a couple, maybe 10, maybe if you're really ambitious, like 100. But he didn't see that as a problem. He has a famous quote of saying he didn't fail at that 10,000 times. He figured out 10,000 ways that didn't work. And that's exactly what this process is. Working through our life and having this goal in mind, we're just gonna figure out strategies that don't work and eliminate them and figure out ones that do. So it's one big science experiment, it's one big trial and error until you get to where you wanna be. So don't look at days that don't go as planned as failures. Look at them as necessary parts of the process, communicate that to your coaches, use them as learning experiences, and know that failure is not something that's an option for you guys. It's not a scenario in your mind that's even in existence. Success is the only scenario in which we're focused on here. And how many times you quote unquote fail on the way to that could be a lot. But just know that it's coming, and know that when it does happen, you just have to brush it off and move on. Because everybody who you look up to in whatever capacity, professional, artistic, physical, whatever, everyone who's accomplished awesome things has failed way more than all the other people who have been already thrown into the failure category because those people stopped trying. So failure is an essential part of this whole process. So I hope this helps with the mindset piece. Sometimes the mindset part of this type of thing can be the toughest part. So open up and make yourself available for help. I know it doesn't always feel great to shoot a text or an email out letting someone know that things didn't go as planned, but on my end, receiving that stuff, it makes me very happy because I know that person's open to being helped, and then it's smooth sailing ahead for them. So I will see you in the next video.